Hello, welcome to another comic book review. As promised, I'm going to be looking through all the crowdfunding books that I've bought in the past, reread them, and do a little overview review of them. It's only fair since I did the ISOM 1 and ISOM 2 and then Alpha Core. Even though technically what Eric July's doing isn't crowdfunding, but I thought it was only fair to crack open Cyberfrog 2, reread it, do a little review, tell you what I thought, tell you what I liked, tell you what I didn't like, etc. etc. Now, I've not got Cyberfrog 1 Blood Honey, so I'm not too sure what happens in that and how this leads on to this book. Um, so it's just a review of this book. So, to start off with, love the shiny cover. I think it's Jay Lee artwork there. Really nice cover. I love this embossed foil, I think it's called. Smells really good. I really like the smell of this stuff. Nostalgia. They say memory is a lot to do with smell, don't they? Well, close your eyes, smell this cover, and you'll remember opening a packet of stickers and being happy you got a embossed chrome one. Great cover, nice and shiny. The only first bad point is I don't like the binding. I really don't. I don't like the binding. Now, would I rather a normal cover in a square bound book, or would I rather the shiny cover in the book being like this? I think I would rather a normal square bound book, to be honest with you. Maybe be a wee bit of shininess on it, but it's just a small nitpick. It's not very good for sitting on the shelf, you know. And if half your books when you're crowdfunding are square bound and they're sitting on the shelf, and the other half are like this, and you're kind of wanting to put them in your long box, then you don't really get that nice look on your shelf of all the books you've backed. Okay, starting off with the book, nice signature here. Little recap. Now, like I said, I don't know what happened in Blood Honey, so I'm not sure if this kind of recap thing is what happened in Blood Honey. Did Cyberfrog wake up in the last book, and it was his journey from that to what this book is, where he meets Heather and her daughter? I'm not too sure. Or was Blood Honey set in the 90s? I'm not sure. Anyway, if this is just a recap of the first book, I get it. If it's not, I kind of want to see Cyberfrog waking up and going, holy shit, what the hell's going on here? You know, like Rick Grimes and The Walking Dead, you know, like starting off like that. I guess if that was the last book, then that's fine. If it wasn't, I'd like to see that in this book. But anyway, he meets Lily and Heather, and now, as you can see straight off, the artwork's absolutely amazing. Ethan is a brilliant artist, very detailed, absolutely brilliant art. Storytelling's really good. Storytelling's really straightforward. You can follow it all the way through the book. Maybe it's explained a little too much. I'll show you what I mean. The only downside to the artwork, I would say, is it's too detailed, you know? Like, now this could be, Ethan might have meant this, but it's so busy, it's claustrophobic almost. There's no time, there's no space for you to kind of breathe. And I guess that is what the survivors of this genocide are going through. So emotionally, the book is very claustrophobic due to all the detail, and I guess that's what everybody, the characters, are actually going through. But I would have liked to have seen, like, you can imagine this with no background, you know, maybe just a flat color, or maybe just white or something. You just don't need all these trees and things here. This is the focal point. This is the impact here, and a little bit of room to breathe would be nice, unless that is the point. Unless you're meant to feel completely claustrophobic, there's no room. There's trees everywhere. As a reader, you can't breathe. You can't. There's no way to go. Um, I love this type of detail Ethan puts throughout the book. The reflection. It just shows how great Ethan is at art. I mean, that's fucking hard as fuck today, man. That kind of shit is hard as fuck. Now here you have basically Cyberfrog's woken up from a slumber. He's found the survivors. He's found his old friend from the 90s, Heather, and she's had a daughter, Lily, and he's offline from his mother computer, which helps him with his weapons and his healing factor. And so he's basically kind of running blind, but it doesn't really hinder him that much in the book. Now, the overall story, I'll say I really love the underlying what do you call it? My mind's went blank. The underlying, what the story's really about, you know, what the subtext is. The underlying subtext. See, when before you do these videos, you think all the stuff you're going to say, then when when you're doing them, you're trying to think, and man, my brain's fried. My brain is fucking fried. The subtext of the Vestas being the the Vespas being the SJWs and the cancel pigs, and how they've taken over the world and made it shit. It's quite funny. It's good. When I first read it, I was like, "Oh fuck, he's actually done that." That's a that's a great idea. Um, so that's a good point. That's a point on the positive side. Good good little in joke kind of subtext there. Now I don't think Ethan minds if I show you most of the pages here. I don't think he's going to copyright strike me. Hopefully not. But also, if you don't want to, excuse me, if you don't want to see the story, if you don't want any spoilers, don't watch this video just yet. Just yet. Go and read the book. Go and buy the book off eBay. Read the book, then come back and watch this video. Now, just flick. Sorry. Just flick forward a little bit. So they've met up. There's a band of survivors that Heather and Lily have been living with. Lily's dad has gone missing, presumed dead. There's some of the old characters, I'm guessing, from the 90s Cyberfrog comics. Ethan's brought everybody back for this big epic. And the character designs are great. Ethan's great at creating characters. He's great at creating different looking humans as well. Everybody looks different. Everybody looks good. The environments look good. It's just so busy. I mean, if you've got what's that, honeycomb up in the sky, and you've got the trees, it's just constant. There's no breathing room. There's a good looking lady. I like the interaction between Lily and Cyberfrog here. It's quite uh, realistic, you know. It's good. It's a good bit of characterization. Now, where's the? That's this is a good scene showing the leader of the survivors. Isn't very smart. He's a bit inept. Uh, oh, like this, like you don't need back at Heller's house. That's quite pretty obvious that that's a different scene. It's back at Heller's house because they were at Heller's house first. He takes Cyberfrog away. That's a definitive ending of a scene for sure. And then Lily and Heather are there, and it's you don't need that extra caption. Just a bit too much explanation. There's a few of them throughout the book. I like this visual joke here with the actual normal wasps, normal Earth wasps, flying around, buzzing around Cyberfrog there. Great art as well. It's just, apart from being too busy for me, for my liking, the artwork's outstanding. I mean, look at this, look at that. How that looks amazing. A sleeping child. That is absolutely brilliant drawing. And the nice little touch there with falling asleep, still trying to speak, as kids do, you know. They don't want to go to sleep, they want to stay up with the adults. Now, for me, one of the biggest disappointments with the books, and one of my biggest criticism with the book is really nothing happens in it. Now, you might argue and say that with me and say that it does. You might disagree with me. You think that loads of stuff happens in it. Nothing really happens in the book, and I'm just being honest here. For me, the first time I read it, I thought this. The second time I read it, I thought it as well, which was today. Just reread it, but you wait 3 years for a book, and that's fine. I don't mind waiting too long, but when it finally arrives and it's like a fill-in story where there's a bit at the start they fight a Vespa, then it's basically just Cyberfrog hanging out with Heather and Lily and getting to meet the other survivors. And there is a lot of character development. There's a lot of getting to know the characters and getting to know Cyberfrog. I mean, this is well actually got the unforgettable tales 1 and 2. So I did have a little read of those before this came out. But this whole book could have been 4 pages at the beginning, to be honest with you. And it's just, you know, it's nowhere near as bad as Ice and 1 and 2, but Ice and 1 could have been condensed into 2 pages and put, like I said in my review, could have been put into the book 2, and that could have been condensed into like half a book, and then more stuff could have happened. It's comic books. You can every page you can do whatever you want in it. You know, it's like let's get all this picnics and like Ethan's done a good job of. Where's the bit here? This is like a little montage of them becoming friendly over a few months after her initially not taking a liking to Cyberfrog. This this give us 4 pages of this and all of this, getting to know everybody, and I think it's like I mean, come on, like you look at something like Star Wars, and each film is its own thing with a beginning, middle, and end, where loads of stuff happens. There's even in the new shit ones, the newest ones that are shit. I mean, even like each film has got enough crap in it that it's an individual film, and it's not. It doesn't feel like a one of those fucking in between films where you need. It's basically just an advert for the next film. Excuse me. This is great character building. I know the characters. I'm getting to know the characters. I know them. I know the. It's it's well done that way, but nothing happens in it. You know, like have it this in the first 4 pages, and then spoilers by the way. The big reveal at the end is Salamandroid isn't dead. Feared dead. He isn't dead. Cyberfrog's brother is back. Have that. This is the comic book I want to read. Have him, page 5, I'm back. You know? Cyberfrog wakes up, he beats he beats up a Vespa. He goes to the camp, he gets to know them, the Vespas come back after the cat attacks, wherever that is. That cyber cat. Well there, oh, look at that. I mean, that's some artwork that. But I wouldn't have minded that if it was just, the manga action line, don't need so much detail in the back. Anyway, after have this straight away, have the Vespas attacking him again, and he's dying, and then as I say, Salamandroid turns up, and Lily goes missing, which she does here. Lily goes missing, the Vespas kidnap her, but have this all in the first half of the book, and then Heather and Cyberfrog fall out because he was meant to be babysitting her. Have it that they fall out, but from the halfway point to the next bit is the mission, the Fellowship of the Rings, the taking the ring to the mount fucking whatever you call it, Mount Doom or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, what is the story here that Cyberfrog just wakes up and hangs out with the survivors, and then at the end Lily goes missing, Salamandroid's back? No, I want Salamandroid back in this comic, and I want, as my mum used to say. I want Salamandroid back at the halfway point to save Cyberfrog and help go out on the hunt for Lily. I want it to end on a cliffhanger when they're out in the woods. They've, fucking I want a bit more action. When I'm doing my comic book, as I've mentioned, I'm going to be doing my own comic book. I'm not going to be spending the whole comic just sitting about doing kind of character building, really. It's a comic, so I'm going to make it. I'm using inspiration from the comics from the 60s and when the big Marvel boom, when it was just an issue, it was just like boom, 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 new character, new new thing introduced, start, middle, and end. Like it shouldn't be made for the Star Wars analogy as well. It's like this comic shouldn't be made to be the middle comic in a trilogy. This should be a comic, and it should be progressing the story ahead. I guess for me, I guess I don't even know. I never had the first book, Blood Honey, but even for me, the story's not progressing fast enough for me. It's just so many things happen in this book that you could fit into the first half of the book, and then you'd have the whole second half again to play with. Like you'd have a whole cut in the story a bit. Like you cut in this story a bit from this book, and then you'll have a whole other half of the whole other half of the book to put in the next part of the story. Artwork's great though. Nice colour change there from green, blue. Colours are nice. It's just maybe a wee bit too modern with the colours for me. I like a bit of a crappy colour, you know. But I think that's it really. Overall, it was good. I enjoyed it. I felt slightly disappointed that the story didn't progress enough for me throughout the book, and I'm waiting for Cyberfrog 3 now. Basically, you can read it in 20 minutes, and then you're waiting for the next one. And to wait that long in between books, you really want each book to be a standalone epic adventure where the stories progress so far on each comic, like like that it feels like you're wanting it. You're desperate for the next issue, but you feel full. You feel satisfied. I felt slightly dissatisfied that I'm waiting for the next book. That's how I feel. I guess there is a little bit about the dialogue as well, where Lily has a different type of voice, but I feel Heather and Cyberfrog kind of like have the same type of voice, you know, like when I'm reading it. Um, Obviously, she's got a little bit of a different voice, you can tell with the speech bubbles and stuff, and it separates her from anybody else's dialogue. But some people talk, I mean, there's not that many people talk in this story, so the main people kind of talk similar. You know, there's no. Heather talks the same as Cyberfrog, is basically what I'm saying. There's no difference in their like speech pattern. But overall, enjoyed it. Artwork's absolutely amazing. Love the shiny cover. Wish I could put it on my shelf a little bit better. Uh, it feels like it's a supplementary rather than a story, like a full story, which sucks. But I still enjoyed it. It's still far better than any Ripperverse stuff, and the artwork is just. I would say this out of all the crowdfunding books I've got, I'm trying to think in my head just now. I think Ethan's artwork is my favourite out of them all. We'll go through them in the next reviews throughout the week. But okay, so far, this is my favourite artwork and my favourite book. Right, so this, then Alpha Core, then ISOM 2, then ISOM 1. That's the order so far. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching, And if you want to subscribe, that'd be great. If you want to like the video, that'd be great. If you don't want to like the video, well, just like it anyway. And if you want to leave a comment, tell me what you thought of Rekt Planet. Fill me in on Blood Honey if you want. Let me know uh, what happened, if that's the lead up to this book where Cyberfrog's just walking about Philadelphia killing Vespas, and then that's what this catch up is. Or just, any kind of comment on what you thought, if I'm right or wrong. And that's me. Haste you back, guys.